So hello, my name is Christine Schackinger. I was invited here today by Rob Gardner. Unfortunately, I am remote and we don't like to rely on live devices. So this is my presentation as though I was there, but I'm not, which is really appropriate since we're talking about bots and bot networks and fake accounts today. So let's start with the 2016 hearings. In the Senate hearing testimony, Google, Facebook, and Twitter were testifying about bot activity and Russian activity in the 2016 election. Now, not all Russian activity was bots. It was also troll farms, where they had up to 2,000 people at a time on the internet sharing and reposting and retweeting and seeding conversations, generally around Twitter and Facebook. Not as much Google. There isn't a lot of opportunity there for that. However, they did have YouTube accounts. So in the testimony, Facebook said that Russia had backed organic content that had the reach of over 126 million users, and other estimates were as high as 200+ million from independent agencies. And their paid ads reached another 10 million people. So it's estimated that it's potentially they could have reached most of the voting public with this organic content and these paid ads. And on Twitter, they found that there was over 2,750 accounts linked to Russian-backed operatives. Now, this doesn't mean they found every Russian-backed account. These are the ones that they can be pretty sure are Russians operating the account. That doesn't mean that there aren't troll farms and troll bots where they went undetected. On YouTube, they found 18 Russian-backed channels. Now, remember, that sounds like a small number, but those channels pumped out a lot of videos. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just a bit of what happened during the 2016 election. And not only here, but this has happened also in Germany, France, and now they've shown it's happened in Mexico as well. And the breeding ground originally was the Ukraine for Russian-backed activity online. So why are they doing this? They're doing it for visibility. They're doing it for visibility of message. So the ability to put out a message online, let's say from the Russian Times, and then to have bot networks pick it up and push it through Facebook and Google and Twitter, and then also pay ads to get those in front of eyes of people as they're micro-targeted. And micro-targeting in the social networks means that in Facebook, I can target you all the way down to the geolocation where you live. I can know what occupation you have, how much money you make, how you're likely to vote. These are all things that I can target an individual on. Now, I don't know the person I'm targeting, but I can target all the characteristics of the person I'm interested in. So this visibility is everywhere. It's across devices, it's across demographics, it's across regions, it's across political parties. On Twitter, there are bots and bot networks. And again, there were some troll farms that interacted with people. But a lot of times on Twitter, you won't know if you're interacting with a bot or a person because they have programmed what they call chat bots. So this all started on Twitter back before the election, back before Russia was involved in doing this and using this as just a way to amplify messages without having to go through the painstaking task of acquiring a lot of followers. They started their social media careers in politics around 2011. For example, Gawker reported that 80% of Newt Gingrich followers were fake. In this year, about 400,000 of them tweeted hashtag messages for and against Trump and Clinton and Bernie. And they were added robocalls to that, which we're not covering today. To give you an idea of how this works, if you look at the Twitter audit reports of Donald Trump and Barack Obama, Donald Trump has 13.5 million fake followers, and Barack has 18,300,000 fake followers. Now, this doesn't mean that they added those themselves or that they created fake bot networks to amplify their reach. These could also be that they're auto-adding people who ask to follow them, and those are fake networks. You will also notice that Barack has a much higher positive score, and that is because he has a lot more followers. So even though he has more fake followers, out of 80 million, that's a lower percentage. You can even see on mine, I have fake followers, and I hand add every follower to my account, which means I go and look at their profile, look at what they've tweeted, and I still have managed to add 160 fake people although I think it's a pretty good record. So the goal of the bots is to artificially increase the reach of the person or the message. It's that simple. So if you have a bot network of, let's say, as mentioned, 350,000 people, then you can get that message to 350,000 accounts. And now we have, we can see, as I mentioned early, I thought I already seen the slide, that cybersecurity experts uncovered a dormant botnet account of 350,000 Twitter accounts. Now, this network only tweeted Star Wars quotes for a period of a year. Their accounts had under 10 followers. They didn't tweet very often. They didn't do anything to raise their profiles so that Twitter might know that these are fake accounts. And those accounts went dormant in 2013 and have not risen since. But why would they do that? Well, we don't know, but we can guess that what they're trying to do is age the bot network. So when they put all these accounts together and they start tweeting on them, if they were to immediately start tweeting negative things, then, or promoting certain hashtags or promoting certain messages, then they would be immediately detected as fake and they would be removed. This way, they are sitting there lying dormant with a history that seems okay from years back and can be activated at any time to promote a message that they want to promote. You'll also notice a lot of times when you're in political discussions on Facebook that you'll get attacked by people that have accounts that are from 2008 to about 2011, but have only recently started tweeting. And that's a prime indicator of somebody that's part of a bot network. The reason they do that is because then they can do this. They can become mean and nasty and attack bots. But Twitter will not detect them because Twitter still thinks that they're the accounts that are with real people. So once aged and undetected for a number of years, the bot network can simply be used to amplify message, and there's really little chance that Twitter is going to detect them and remove them from their accounts. On Facebook, what they did is seek content through pages and dark ads. Pages are those things like where you like the funny page or you like the political page, and dark ads are ads that are not shown on the page's page itself, but run in the background with their names on it. You'll see the sponsor tag on the dark ads. Now, Facebook was a lot less about bots and more people. So this is where those troll farms really came into play. So the people would sit in their troll farm and Russia pays them a certain amount of money and they get online and they see conversations. A lot of the Bernie bros were said to be actually Russian troll farms and not actual Americans. So a sample of actual Russian-backed Facebook pages and dark ads we can see here. These are have been verified as from Russian accounts, either published by Facebook or confirmed through news organizations by Facebook that these were Russian ads. Although some of them are about Bernie or about left-leaning parties or politics, most of them are not. Most of them are against Hillary Clinton or people on the left, not a political statement. This is just a fact of how they were used. Why they were used that way, I cannot determine and would not say in this presentation. I have my own suspicions. However, that is the crux of how they were used. There's also a Medium account that tracks down Russian accounts. So you can go to this link I've shown here, and you can actually go see the kind of posts that each one of these known Russian accounts are making. They also created events, which was kind of an oddity that Facebook found in its audits, where they created events that people attended, but they were created by Russians in Russia to attend in the United States, which also indicates there probably were people in the United States also helping them with this campaign. So how prevalent is this? Well, there's something called the German Marshall Fund, and they're about securing democracies. And they have a Hamilton 68 project, which tracks known Russian disinformation accounts and how the messages are amplified across those accounts and domains and hashtags. So the top themes just from January 12th to the 13th on what they examine. Now they examine a 600 account network that they know and have determined to be Russian backed or Russian influenced. So this isn't them randomly going out on Twitter and trying to determine who's who and what's what. They already know and they already follow them. But as the past week's attacks, as we can see, most of them were popular items in the news. Clinton, Oprah, Barack, John McCain and Mark Rubio were in there as well. And then, of course, Fusion DPS and Steele Dossier. Again, as noted, these are primarily anti-left types of propaganda. That doesn't mean it's only anti-left. It's not. However, that does seem to be the predominant theme. We can see in the trending topics that they are mostly politically related. Even Apple was related to some politics. So these are the trending topics in the past week that those accounts are using. These are the trending hashtags that they are tweeting into, and you can see how many in the last 48 hours. So in the Thursday Thoughts hashtag, they tweeted 4,000 times. On the Storm hashtag, 3,000 times. So why they do each one, it's hard to say. Sometimes it's just legitimizing their accounts, making it look like they're more of a normal person. The top hashtags and URLs reveal the themes pushed by those 600 accounts that are linked to the Russian influence campaigns. Fake news awards being the predominant one, and that was used 800 times in the last 48 hours. The date of this report, obviously not this last 48 hours. We the People, Great Awakening, fake news. As we can see again, these are primarily politically motivated. And these are the top domains that were linked to in the past 48 hours of this report. And as we can see, we recognize a lot of these URLs. This doesn't mean these are Russian-backed URLs or they're even involved in these campaigns. It does mean, however, that the Russian-backed network likes to promote the message and content on these URLs. In fact, you can even check on Facebook to see if you have shared or liked or clicked on a Russian propaganda page to get an idea if that's something that you might have been involved in. Fortunately, I checked mine and I have not, though I could have easily fallen for it too, because again, they did cross the political spectrum. They were just more dominant on anti-left than they were anti-right. So you should check your accounts and be aware that often you might be, especially if it is a heavy conversation, an argumentative conversation, or someone attacking you that you do not know on Facebook or Twitter, it could be very likely a Russian bot or Russian troll account where they have been sent there to try to alter the message or create volatility and chaos between people in this country. So thank you very much, and hopefully that has set you up for the rest of your talk, and you have a great day.